Oh, he's not consenting.
Yes, he is. You never think about what side he's thinking too, though. Like, who wants to walk around being called that? That's embarrassing for him as a guy.
Okay, girl.
We merry-go-round, Somi. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
She snuck into the Met Gala, rubbed shoulders with A-list celebrities, and was mentored by the biggest streamer on the entire internet. She built an absolute empire by finessing the system, breaking the rules, and weaponizing her own chaotic personality. But today, she is one of the most universally condemned creators on the platform. She traded her humanity for short-term viral relevance, relying on public harassment, deliberate rage bait, and horrifying live-streamed controversies that permanently destroyed her reputation. Today, we are uncovering the rapid rise and catastrophic fall of Nina Lin. We are going to find out exactly how a viral TikToker went from the lovable voice of the Bronx to becoming the ultimate cautionary tale of the attention economy. Nina Lin's ascent into the digital spotlight was defined by a single, unmistakable gimmick: her voice. Emerging onto the TikTok scene in 2020, right in the suffocating height of the global pandemic, she immediately stood out. There was a jarring, undeniable contrast between her petite physical appearance and her incredibly deep, gravelly voice, heavy with a thick, unfiltered Bronx accent. This out-of-the-ordinary feature was the ultimate cheat code for the TikTok algorithm, a machine that absolutely thrives on unique, instantly identifiable human traits. While the rest of the world was locked inside, Nina's early content was raw, outdoor, and highly engaging. She focused on New York survival tips and chaotic late-night vlogs, walking through the empty city streets with an air of reckless, untouchable confidence. During this era, Nina was widely viewed as a likable, albeit wildly rambunctious, local personality. She leaned heavily into this chaotic image, raking in millions of views for harmless, if slightly illegal stunts, like famously hopping onto the back of moving garbage trucks and riding them through the city streets. But the positive reinforcement loop of viral fame is a dangerous, intoxicating drug. It quickly conditioned Nina to consistently up the ante. She learned a dangerous lesson very early on. The more sensational and rule-breaking her behavior became, the more the internet rewarded her with millions of eyeballs. This escalating need for viral validation culminated in her ultimate heist. In 2023, Nina decided to attend the Met Gala, the most exclusive fashion event on the planet, and a room she was absolutely never invited into. By meticulously forging a fake press pass and adopting a completely fake journalist persona named Tina Parker, Nina successfully navigated past elite, highly trained security details. She walked the carpet and literally rubbed shoulders with A-list celebrities like Jimmy Fallon. When she uploaded the resulting YouTube documentary of the stunt, it was an instant viral hit, racking up hundreds of thousands of views in record time. The internet crowned her a genius. It cemented her reputation as a master finesser who could game any system and talk her way out of any consequence. But looking back, these early celebrated acts of rule-breaking were a dark harbinger. They built an ego that believed it was invincible, setting the stage for the serious, career-ending controversies that were waiting just around the corner. By 2025, Nina Lin, now streaming under the moniker Nenah Daddy, began a highly calculated career transition. She knew that short-form TikToks were fleeting, but the real financial potential and hardcore community loyalty lived in the long-form, unedited worlds of Twitch and YouTube. She worked tirelessly to network her way into the WL community, a massive, fiercely loyal niche of high-energy, personality-driven streamers. Her abrasive, no-nonsense Bronx attitude initially played incredibly well in this cutthroat space. Eventually, she secured the ultimate golden ticket, an invitation to participate in Kai Cenat Streamer University. This content bootcamp was a pivotal turning point. It allowed her to siphon Kai's massive, record-breaking popularity into her own growing channel, suddenly averaging thousands of concurrent viewers. However, as Nina's platform grew, the microscope zoomed in. Unlike the heavily insulated 60-second world of TikTok, Twitch viewers and professional commentary channels are far less forgiving of genuinely antisocial behavior. You can't hide who you are when you are live for 8 hours a day. The cracks in her persona began to show when she appeared on reality-style YouTube shows, notably Jimmy Zhang's Asians Go to Therapy. It was here that she first publicly detailed a dark history of aggression. She casually admitted to physically abusing her younger brother for years until she was a teenager. While she attempted to present this as a story of trauma and personal growth, the shocking, casual nature with which she discussed the severity of her past actions deeply polarized her audience. For a few, she was a vulnerable person healing from a rough upbringing, but for many others, she was a walking red flag, a person whose aggressive, abusive tendencies were simply being redirected toward the public for clicks. The defining tragedy of Nina Lin's career occurred during a series of live streams that commentators would later grimly dub Sexual Assault Weekend. This was the moment the finesse turned into undeniable abuse. The most egregious incident involved Nina and fellow streamer Zoe Spencer forcibly harassing Sed, an assistant for the massive streamer FaZe Silky. On camera, for thousands of live viewers to see, Nina and Zoe pinned Sed down, twerking on him completely against his will. They eventually dragged him into a room, actively yelling for the cameras to be cut so they could take his clothes off. Despite Sed's visible, intense discomfort and the literal pleas from bystanders off camera shouting he's not consenting, Nina simply laughed the entire incident off as a joke. And the horror didn't stop there. Another clip surfaced from a different event showing Nina inappropriately groping the massively popular streamer Disguised Toast while he was receiving a professional massage. Toast later issued a statement confirming he was extremely uncomfortable and felt intensely pressured to remain silent simply because cameras were shoved in his face at a sponsored event. The desperate pursuit of content had completely overridden basic human consent. When the clips resurfaced and went nuclear in late 2025, her response was disastrous. Instead of showing an ounce of remorse, she doubled down, claiming it was embarrassing as a man for Sed to feel victimized. That single statement ignited a firestorm of universal condemnation across the internet. She was attempting to use toxic masculinity as a shield to protect herself from the consequences of her own predatory behavior. As the pressure from the public and large-scale creators like MoistCr1TiKaL reached a boiling point, Twitch finally acted. But it was a massive letdown. The platform issued a series of temporary bans lasting only 24 hours to a week. This perceived slap on the wrist sparked a massive platform-wide conversation about Twitch's entirely broken and rotten moderation model, proving that if you bring in enough viewers, the rules simply don't apply to you in the same way. Nina's attempts at a redemption were completely destroyed when it became obvious that her private apologies to victims were purely reactionary, only happening after the public backlash threatened to cancel her lucrative brand deals. Following her return from these bans, Nina Lin had a choice: show genuine remorse or double down. She chose a path of absolute, toxic defiance. Realizing she could no longer be loved, she decided she would rather be hated than ignored. She leaned heavily into rage bait, deliberately acting as obnoxious and unlikable as humanly possible just to drive engagement metrics. This included a highly viral incident at a Target where she appeared to blatantly shoplift groceries on stream. She later bragged about it, looking directly into the camera and telling her haters to put that on Twitter. She became a total pariah in the professional streaming world. Former friends and massive collaborators like FanFan publicly and loudly distanced themselves, stating on stream that they felt deeply uncomfortable even associating with a perpetrator. By the end of 2025, Nina's content had devolved from high-energy entertainment into a pathetic series of public altercations. She was recorded screaming at restaurant staff, disrupting innocent public businesses, and violently cursing in front of children in nail salons. While this desperate strategy initially saw a small spike in her viewership, the brutal law of diminishing returns eventually took hold. Hate watchers got bored, professional streamers refused to collaborate, and her metrics began a rapid, terminal decline. Nina Lin serves as the ultimate modern cautionary tale of the attention economy. She is a creator who traded her humanity, her friendships, and her long-term reputation for short-term viral relevance. She found out the hard way that once the internet truly turns against you, there is no W big enough to fix the horrific legacy you've left behind. Now I want to hear from you. Look at her entire timeline, from the Met Gala finessing to the rage baiting in public businesses. Do you think Nina Lin actually planned this chaotic downfall for views, or did the blind pursuit of clout simply cause her to completely lose touch with reality? Let me know right now in the comments. Type planned or lost reality. The internet never forgets, and the defining moments always happen when the cameras finally turn off. Here on Offstage Equation, we look past the viral highlights to explore the raw, unfiltered human journeys behind the world's most controversial icons. If you want to uncover the truth behind the personalities redefining our digital world, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, stay observant.